Hello everyone for this video. Very happy to have you for this live where we're gonna introduce our new members who joined the BGA during March. It's really happy to have you doing that video. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have this possibility to have all the different new members to be able to introduce who they are and what they do, and what the different things they want to share with you. But just before letting the stage to our speakers, I would like just a few minutes to introduce to you the BGA. So the BGA is the Blockchain Game Alliance, and we are an organization committed to promoting blockchain within the game industry. So our goal is really to spread awareness about blockchain technology, to encourage adoption by highlighting their potential to foster new ways to create, to publish, to play, and to build strong communities around games. And we are very committed, and we are also strong advocate for diversity and more inclusivity of women in the industry. So we have core activities, and we have obviously this networking. We want to build a network, and actually through our different channels internally, but obviously this capacity to show, to introduce live with different content that we're going to see, and obviously making possible to meet and to connect with anyone with physical events. We do research and reporting, obviously, as well. We represent blockchain game companies, and we are advocate for blockchain in the game industry. So I would like today to thank all of our sponsors. I know some of them are here today, so thank you guys for making it happen to be able to provide such a strong network to the BGA community. And obviously also our members. We're lacking some space as usual, but it's so fun to have you and to have everyone on board, depending on the services, depending on the activities you're doing for promoting blockchain technology within the gaming industry. So as I said, we're doing now the new member presentations, but we do all other content like the demo day, where we just let the different BGA members to be able to do live their games and services, and win some prizes sometimes and some NFTs. So very fun, and have some panel as well. We want to capitalize on the expertise of the different BGA members to be able to speak about a specific subject. And actually the last one was last week about blockchain gaming and environmental impacts. It was very interesting to have expertise for these games who are developing something around the protection of the environment and their missions. So yeah, pretty happy to have them on the show. But today, without any further ado, I'm gonna let our speakers to share their projects, and the first one to do so is Matthias Hermansen. Hello, Matthias. If you're ready, the stage is yours.
Thank you, and hi everyone. I'm Matthias. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Gamepay. I'll just flick my screen here. Here we go. So, Gamepay. In two sentences, Gamepay is a marketplace for gaming skins and assets. We come out of the Web 2 world, where we are a marketplace today for Counter-Strike players. And what we've tackled there is basically one of the main problems in Web 2 when you do trading, which is that there's a ton of scamming, there's a ton of gray markets, and we provide a safe destination for gamers to trade. When we look at Web 3 and blockchain, we are super excited. What we look at there is we really come from a gaming side. So what we look at there is really how we help our gamers discover new games, and how we make sure that their learning curve doesn't have to be as steep as it has seen in some of the first games. If we go big and bold, our dream and our vision is really to become the preferred destination, the preferred vertical marketplace for any gamer to trade their assets. This can be a PFP, it could be a gaming skin, it could be land, whatever you desire for the games that you play. We're agnostic in that sense. We really just want to be a place where the gamers think it's really, really cool to hang out, and where they would want to trade their items. So to give you a bit more context on what we do, we have basically built a marketplace with a combination of an immersive 3D experience, which you're seeing in the bottom right now, hopefully. So here you can try out actually the skins or the weapons, and which is in this case it is for Counter-Strike, before you buy them. This is something our players, they really like. They love trying out the items before they go to the buy experience, but they also really like the 2D experience and the efficiency that brings. And that's really, I think, at the core of what we've learned so far, that while we have great experiences that can be immersive, what we see at least is that that's extremely good for discovery. It's great for engagement, but the 2D version is still really great when you just know what you want to buy and you want to get it done. If we take a step back and look at our team, so basically we are a team that built a physical fashion marketplace before. We built the biggest transactional marketplace in Denmark, and we've also been spread out in a bunch of different markets. And then later on, as we're gamers, we were running a huge Counter-Strike community in Scandinavia, actually the biggest one. And we saw this, you could say, we saw two things. So one is that basically gamers portray themselves through the assets they own in games. So it really becomes not a profile pic, but the asset you have becomes a part of you. So you wear your red skins on Friday and your blue ones on Monday when you're tired. But we also saw that half of all of the kids and young people we talked to had been scammed. So we built Gamepay. We've been fortunate to get some really good backers on board. So we have Y Combinator on board. We participated in Y Combinator last summer. We have Skyfall Ventures from Norway, FCVC from the US. And then we have a bunch of both gaming and marketplace experts. So we have Alexander from Axie that I think many are familiar with. We have Heini Zachariasen, the co-founder of Vivino, the biggest wine marketplace in the world. And we have Frederik Byskov, one of the co-founders of Australis, a huge esports team and one of the pioneers in that space. So a ton of people that really back up on the mission of making it safe, legit, and easy for young gamers to trade without all the friction that they've experienced so far. If we just look at our own performance so far, I think we've had a really good start. So we launched in May last year. We have a community that we built on the back of 80,000 people. 20,000 of them are active on Gamepay frequently. We've grown 20% month on month since we raised our seed round in August last year, and basically run on our marketplace where we take a 5% rake on each transaction. It's free to sell, and every seller is KYC'd, which is a big part of our ecosystem that we run on a fully compliant infrastructure. If we look ahead, one of the things we're looking at and building on right now, so we're really sort of scraping the surface on Web3 and all of the different crypto games that are out there. We are building on and looking into the entire space where we can add something on discovery. So we find that a bunch of our gamers at least have a huge interest, but they struggle to figure out some matrix between what chain is this on, what kind of games are there, like it's like a three-dimensional kind of puzzle for them to figure out. Are they even live, these games? So it's really from a gaming side, and I think that's one of the things we are looking for in this community as well, is that we're looking for other games out there who wants to access some of our either the gamers we have on our platform or the gamers that have the same interest. And then on the other side, we can obviously support with a bunch of the skills we built up on the marketplace side, as well on having built both 3D immersive experiences and a sort of a fully fledged financial infrastructure underneath. Yeah, I think I'll leave it there for a second and shoot it back to you, Florian.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much, Matthias. Thank you for the presentation, and happy to have you in the BGA helping to build a good community of players. It's very great. Thanks. I think we're going to have other opportunities to share your services within our content. So welcome to the BGA. Thanks, Matthias.
Thank you.
So I would like to welcome our next speaker, who is Eggy Mesito, COO of Everup. Eggy, if you're willing to have the stage, is it all yours? Oh, your mic is off. Can you try to turn on your mic?
So apologies, I
Yeah,
wasn't.
you,
Can
you
you hear
got
me?
it. No
Okay.
problem. Perfect.
Hello, everybody. Just a brief introduction about Everup. We are in financial services. Actually, we are a regulated entity. We are registered agents of Modular. We are in the UK only at the moment. Background, myself, I'm coming from lotteries. I've been managing director of a large bookmaker in the UK. And then I founded in 2018 Ninja Stickers, which was an NFT business based on MotoGP, which then was a project that was acquired by Nimoga brand in 2020. And in 2020, I started Everup with my co-founder. My co-founder instead comes from financial services, classic financial services, PhD in finance. And we created Everup, which is it's a fintech app, but basically we want to empower people to better save, invest, and spend with the power of games. At the very beginning, we started with the saving product because in the UK, it's very popular product is called the premium bond. And 1 in 3 people in the UK stash cash in premium bonds, although it's a very old product, and the average age is 53 years old. 53 years old. Nevertheless, there are 110 billion as of June 2021 stored in premium bond in the UK. And differently from a bank account, in a sense, customers, they give up on the interest and they participate into prize draws, where basically the interest is pooled and then every month somebody become a millionaire. So on the base concept, we're basically creating a product that we call a product tomorrow, given that the premium bond is a product yesterday. And we got out of beta about 9 months ago, and so far we had about 20,000. It's not up to date in terms of registered users, but we have 20,000 registered users and about 9,000 cash accounts. And in a sense, customers are KYC, they open their cash account, and as they save money, they participate in games of chance. But we don't want to do only games of chance. We want to do also skill games, and that's where the more gaming aspect comes into play. And so we started with a price-linked platform which has a coin-based economy, and we have a weekly lottery where people can win up to £1 million, a daily raffle with number of prizes, mini games like Wheel of Fortune and scratch cards. And we have about 5,000 weekly active users. And now we are building a debit card, which will cover the spending aspect. And through the debit card, people will be able to win also NFTs, which we are going to produce. And the NFTs are going to be key for the skill games that we are starting to build this year. And we also have gift cards, which are gamified as well. So imagine you buy a gift card, instead of just getting the gift card, you are presented with a skill game or a game of chance, and you might win up to the full amount of the gift card. Same with the debit card, where you can win up to the entire value of what you just purchased. In terms of hardcore gaming, let's call it that way, first of all, we want to be more of an open system and not be focused just on the App Store, because we all know about the limitations of these closed systems. So at the moment, we have an app on the Apple Store and Google Store, which is quite mature, I have to say, given that we are only live 9 months. But we also built a production demo of our first skill games, which is a 3D games where there is a race, and people will be able to buy motorbikes and use the token to purchase fuel, which will be a consumable. And of course, eventually we want to build our own token, and through our token pay also all prizes. And we have a video demo link for this video, which we might make available maybe via the chat. We have a strategy so far we're deploying quite on time. For this year, we are planning to cover the spending aspect with the debit card and continue building our first skill games, the NFT. And then for next year, we are planning eventually the core is going to be obviously the tokenization with the play to earn, which is going to be more of a play to win. Obviously, always staying away from regulated gambling, because everything works in terms of regulation like sweepstakes, which is quite uniform around the world in terms of regulation. And we have multiple revenue streams that we are going to take from there, because we also have revenues which will be coming from crypto yield or the investment products that we are building, as well as obviously the NFT and the trading fees. The team is composed by myself and my co-founder, as I said, and we have a strong CXO, let's call it team, and we have a risk manager and CMO and CTO, which are very experienced in the field. And so far, we've been funded by angel investors, which are mainly coming from financial service and consulting organizations. We are obviously funding. We raised so far £1 million, and now in the second round, we are raising £2 million, and we raised so far $500,000. And we didn't raise yet from any institution, but we are in talk with a number of them. Yeah, hope that was fast, but hope that something transpired.
Yeah, but efficient. Thank you very much, Egi, for that. Thank you for the presentation. Actually, everyone, if in the audience you have any question to ask to the speakers, to Matthias, to Egi, feel free to ask in the comments, and if we have time at the end, I will be able to address to them. So thank you again, Egi. Next speakers, I would love to welcome Ife Shi from Klaytn. Ife, if you're ready, you have the stage.
Hi, everyone. This is Ife from Klaytn Foundation. So Klaytn, we have just started our global expansion from last year, and we aim to become the metaverse blockchain for all. And I am speaking on behalf of Klaytn Foundation as the Director of Partnerships at Klaytn. And previously, I was working with Twitter for the gaming vertical in Asia. So who is Klaytn and who we are and where we come from? So that brings us back to the story of our Web2 past history. So Klaytn was born from Kakao. So Kakao is the largest tech company right now in South Korea, with especially the strength in mobile app business and also content industry, enterprise services, and also entertainment business. So under the entire Kakao group, we have the core messaging app, Kakao Talk Messenger. 95% of the South Korean population is using Kakao Talk. And what's more important is that we have a wallet integrated inside the Kakao Talk Messaging app, which enables all the South Korean users to be able to send and receive Klay tokens among each other. So in terms of our Klaytn Foundation and technology, the mainnet was launched in 2019, and we gained a very solid footground in the South Korea market. And right now we are aiming for EVM equivalence. So what I want to highlight here is that we're not just EVM compatible, we're actually reaching EVM equivalence, which means all the tools, APIs, core development, contributions, and all elements that required for developers. Anything you do with Ethereum, it will be able to move to work on Klaytn without any efforts. And also, we're having a very strong back from the entire Kakao Group and its global investment arm to support the ecosystem development for all the entities partners through capital deployment, partnerships, marketing, development, and more. So in terms of technology itself, we're proud of the finality speed for 1 second finality and 4,000 TPS, and also almost clear to zero gas fee. And what's also very unique about Klaytn is that we have a governance council system that we invited a lot of established enterprises and key players from different industries, for example, consumer electronics, finance, media, and also blockchain and crypto, to participate in this governance council, who are validators, but also who can vote on the major changes and development of the entire network. Right now, we have about over 30 global enterprises compassing the Governance Council. And in 2022 and also in 2023, we're aiming to expand the Governance Council membership to over 50 members to be able to participate and manage the entire governance and development of Klaytn Network. So at the moment, Klaytn ecosystem, we have mainly on the DeFi, gaming, NFT, and as some of you might know, Klaytn is one of the 3 chains plugged into OpenSea. So we're putting a lot of resources into developing the ecosystem for NFTs, especially a lot of amazing projects from South Korea for global expansion. And we also want to work with a lot more global partners for a lot more possibilities and use cases in terms of gaming and entertainment. So for our strategy, especially for 2022, we really want to focus more on gaming and entertainment and all the infrastructure work that is required to expand further on the gaming and entertainment business. So for gaming, what differentiates Klaytn from other layer ones is that we really focus on and we're dedicated to the stability and scalability of large-scale, high-quality multiple player games. So recently, we have announced the partnership with Netmarble and Neowiz, who are the largest gaming companies in South Korea, to build up the entire blockchain gaming platform on Klaytn. So what's different is that those game titles are not only simple MMOs, they're actually large-scale, high-quality MMOs with high-quality metadata, large-scale assets to be on-chain and off-chain. So what's really important for us is to build and provide the infrastructure needed for those large-scale games to be running smoothly on-chain. And we also invest a lot of resources in providing the developer tools and also other infrastructure and utilities such as wallets, bridges, dexes, to be able to be completely open source to all developers in our community. And aside from that, beyond the development of those game support, we also focus a lot on the community building and also the esports. As we all know, that South Korea is probably one of the most mature markets for esports and have a long tradition of strong esports culture and gaming communities. So we're leveraging that kind of advantage and trying to expand it to further into Southeast Asia. And we have recently been working with a lot of professional esports communities and esports teams to further develop this blockchain community, to be able to acquire more seasoned players and also general users to be able to embrace blockchain gaming. So how do we support our partners? So there are 4 aspects that we usually would like to support our partners, especially developers. We have a strong capital deployment resources, not only the Klaytn Foundation grant program, but we also have the global investment arm from Kakao Group to support blockchain related, especially for gaming and metaverse building projects. And for our ecosystem strategy, we try to connect all different kinds of partners in our ecosystem to meet their needs and meet their goals for their own growth. So we're not going to just leave them alone in our ecosystem, but rather try to connect to whatever partners they need from our ecosystem to help them to scale, to do business development, and really see them grow and grow with them. And for development resources, we are also happy to provide third-party development resources and a lot of open source technologies to support the developers. And for marketing, we try to leverage all the marketing resources that we have in South Korea and outside, and also the global exposure of Kakao Group to help the PR, social support, and also community development to further expand the development of all metaverse entertainment and gaming projects. So that's all for Klaytn, and we welcome all the developers and partners to reach out to us for further collaborations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ife, for the presentation. Actually, the ecosystem of Klaytn is so big. I'm always I'm try to follow you for any activities you're able to share related to blockchain gaming space. So I'm happy to have you on board. And as you said, esports is a large part of what you're doing, and I know that we are developing this part as well with other BGA members. So thank you very much for being a member, and thank you for the presentation.
My pleasure. Thank you.
The last person to speak is Brandon. Hi, Brandon from Ethereum Towers. I know you are very expected as regards with the comments we have in the chat. So no pressure for you, of course. But when you're ready, you can start.
Yeah, let me just let me see if I can share this screen here. But yeah, no, thank you for having me here today, and it's been great to hear through the members as well. Really interesting projects and companies here. So yeah, pleasure to be involved. Okay, can we see the screen?
Not yet. As soon as I see your screen share, I'm able to share it with the audience. But right now, I don't see anything.
Okay.
Oh, okay. You're good.
We're in, yeah?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, yeah, cool. So yeah, as I said, I'm speaking to everyone today from Ethereum Towers. So Ethereum Towers is we're essentially a pre-development, pre-TG metaverse protocol being built on the Ethereum blockchain, hence the name. And yeah, a great partnership with the Blockchain Game Alliance. Obviously, we're quite new, hence why we're in the new members presentation. But so far, it's been a great space, and yeah, we found it really resourceful. We've connected with some of the members, which have been brilliant, and yeah, we thought it was going to be a great partnership, and so far it's been brilliant. So yeah, so I want to talk to everyone today a bit about Ethereum Towers, a bit about what we're doing, what we planned, and how it kind of works into the BGA's mission a little bit as well. But before I get into it, a bit about myself. So I'm one of four from the Ethereum Towers leadership team. My name is Brendan. I'm Chief Product Officer. So essentially my day-to-day, my hour-to-hour role is really about product delivery, understanding, developing, working with our partners, developers, understanding how to deliver that product, and not only just kind of delivering a product, but how the product makes sense. And one thing that we're really big on as a team, as a community, and myself is about adoption as well. So adoption of these platforms and how we can make it accessible. So that's something we're always thinking about as we move forward. But if I give you kind of the 10,000 foot view of Ethereum Towers, so yes, we're a metaverse protocol. There are plenty of other metaverse protocols, as we know. The concept of Ethereum Towers is it's a lot smaller, a much limited supply, and also it's vertical, as you can see. So essentially we're building up our protocol from the ground up, called Ethereum Worlds, and Ethereum Towers really is going to be essentially the first Genesis residency being developed. And interesting enough, as you can see, it's got quite a unique design. And as I continue on in this presentation, you'll see that the way that we've developed and approached this has always been about bridging the gap into the real world. I mean, obviously we're talking about metaverses. We're here with the Blockchain Game Alliance, but because of our demographic and what we want to bring to the market, trying to, again, with that adoption in mind, thinking about a wider target audience, what we've done from the beginning is think about how we can bridge and parallel from the real world. So what we've done is we've worked with a team of architects to actually develop and design these spaces. So we're coming less from a kind of a game background, and we're applying that kind of architectural real life background into a digital environment that is being gamified. So yeah, to give you an idea of the theme, hopefully you can get it by now, but essentially what we're going for, we're definitely going for more of a utopian premium environment, hence the supply, hence the design. Again, we're going for our prototype development, as I said, but the idea is we've got 2 towers, and within those towers there are various different apartments that people can own in a form of an NFT. We have individuals own them. We have plenty of individuals that own the apartments, but interesting enough, we also have a lot of organizations in that own these apartments, because although the word being apartment, kind of immediately you think about a dwelling, well, actually, the way that we're building this is it's a virtual space within a curated space. So the idea being, as there are other metaverse protocols and metaverse builders and companies and individuals and organizations that do develop on these spaces, that's no different in ours. That's exactly what we're going to do. So from a use case perspective, we're not just talking about, you know, a dwelling or the game of that. But there's also real, you know, corporate and business and educational implications that we can use on our space, which is really interesting. That's, for me, that's really exciting, especially the educational aspect as well. In terms of how it works, because I said we are still a metaverse protocol and we do tokenize all of our assets. There are 3 different apartment types, and in reality here, talking about having an apartment in Ethereum Towers, in my opinion, maybe I'm biased, is a great thing anyway, and you should have one. But nonetheless, there are 3 different types, and that really just talks about the sizes of them. And again, that would translate into the use cases of them, and also where they're located as well, because you've got some individuals that are driven by different purchasing decisions. People want to have the best. People want to just be involved, want to kind of join, be a part of the society and the community. So we've got 3 different apartment types, different types of coverage as well. So obviously the penthouse apartments, there's only 32 of them. So really what we're seeing from our penthouse owners, they're either organizations, they're community DAOs, they're other projects, individuals that are associated with real world brands, other projects, various different interests here. And then as we kind of go down to the different apartment types, that's where more the retail individual or, you know, the family member has that we're seeing anyway. So the concept of our platform and environment is essentially that NFT that you're buying, that equity that you're purchasing in our ecosystem, because we're in development, really is your access to this meta society that we're building. And that will grant you, upon launch, your own virtual space within these towers. And when I say virtual space, again, a space, it's not just an apartment space. Here we've got a screenshot from the actual design of this. And obviously there's going to be the ability to display NFTs like we do with online art galleries, but we're also going to have a lot of utility behind that, because we're having a tokenized economy within this protocol. So we are launching a utility token in the summer, which is going to be really, really exciting. And the primary utility for that token is about enhancing and creating content within that space. And also, not only that, because it is a social experience, it's about enjoying that with other people. You can traverse, invite, just spend time in that space that you or somebody else has developed, or maybe people as part of your organization community, and whatever the use case that is. Other utilities also include on that. We are looking at how to appeal to the different type of user. We know that our demographic has been more mature than some of the other metaverse protocols, and maybe that's the way that I say mature, but different, but maybe that's the way that we approached it. But we also have to appreciate that because of that wider demographic, they might not have as much time to spend within the protocol, or maybe don't want to, or maybe they only have the weekends or the evenings. So we're looking at utilities such as how to rent and stake that side of things, similar to, you know, the scholarship models that we see in blockchain gaming. We're applying that to our protocol here, which is going to be really interesting and really exciting. Here you can see a few of the images of the actual size of the apartment, the models. Again, these are still really early images, but we've seen some concepts on the previous slides. But what I do want to say, what I think is, you know, I always get asked what's different about our protocol to some of the ones that are building, because we have a lot of ones in the space, and we have really, really big ones as well, right? We know that we have 3 or 4 market leaders in this space. So we are approaching it really differently in the sense of we're granting these kind of customizable individual spaces, but within a curated environment, within an environment that's already been designed. So therefore, the content and the immersiveness and the, you know, that experience is enhanced because you're in an already designed space. And that's an interesting one. And I'll talk about how we've approached that from a design and development perspective as well, because architects and game developers and art studios, they do not work on the same terms. So it's always an interesting how to balance that and how to work that. And again, talking about these curated spaces, it's given us a lot of opportunity to get really, to really set the theme and the style of our protocol and what we're looking to build, not only in this Genesis residence, but in the future products that we also want to release as well. So again, that theme will probably be carried throughout. But again, that's what I think is probably one of our key selling points and something that really excites and interests myself as well. But let's just talk about the experience, because I think it's really important to note one thing that we're doing here at Ethereum Towers and the Ethereum Worlds Metaverse is that we're actually developing for VR first. So a few months ago, we announced a partnership with one of the leading kind of development-only XR studios based in Bedford, the UK, to develop for mainly the Oculus headset, but we're all looking at other front-end capabilities. And that's mainly due to market share and accessibility, because we talked about that adoption element. And we're kind of banking on that immersiveness of VR and XR with the whole idea of designed and curated spaces to develop this experience that people actually want to spend time in and socialize in. And that is our goal there as well. And again, appealing to that wider market. Talking about, again, the design, I touched on this before, we've seen images of the residential floors where people actually own those tokenized spaces. But what we also intend to do is we have a lot of space in the base of the towers, which we are going through the design and development. And these will be utility areas, these will be branded areas. These will be areas that people can socialize in, but also potentially learn, potentially have entertainment there. We're working that out. But what we are doing is we are working with, real world architects, real life architects to make sense of the spaces as if we were designing this, in the real world with an unlimited budget. Perhaps. And more interestingly, what this does is, because we are being consistent with the narrative of this utopian space that we're looking to develop, people want to be immersed in, it actually means that these architects are essentially establishing a theme which everything else as we develop kind of adheres to, which is really interesting. But I talked about how architects and art studios don't really work on the same they don't work in the same way. There's an architect team, they'll want things to look incredibly well. A developer they think about performance. And obviously in our goal, we fit in the middle. We obviously want an accessible product that promotes adoption in a great environment, but it has to work and it has to look good as well. So the process has been interesting from my perspective as a chief product officer, is taking, real world digital IP that has been designed incredibly, and then having to optimize that many times to get it down to to be able to be played on for instance, an Oculus has got a processor smaller than a fingernail. So it's an interesting process, but it's something we are doing. It definitely adds more time and more cost to everything, but I think that again is where our protocol and our environment is going to stand out. And also not even from just a user perspective, or like your average user, but also from a commercial perspective as onboarding brands into the metaverse. It becomes an interesting pitch for us to be able to get them into our design spaces, which are leased in opposed to sold, because of this narrative that we're building in this space. It's a smaller risk for them in that way. Another thing that we've been really, really big on since we started the Ethereum Towers and the Ethereum Worlds Metaverse is partnerships. We've partnered, as you can see here, Audius, the streaming platform. We do have over 40 different partnerships, and not only from a community perspective, but also a product integration perspective. And also we're in discussion with other protocols, metaverse protocols as well, because we do believe in interconnectivity in that sense. Audius, for instance, bring a real product integration opportunity where not only can their community come and consume content in our protocol that we're building, but also, interestingly enough, Audius provide tools that can be consumed by projects and creators like us, which can enhance our community's experience. So a big thing for us is those partnerships, and I know a few people have said this on this presentation now. It's been one of the biggest thing for us, and for me personally in this space, partnerships and collaborations are the main driver for me. Like that's what kind of keeps me going every day, and that's why we're part of the BGA as well. And that's one of the primary drivers we've been looking to join for some time. In terms of the actual tokenized economy we talked about, we do have some a few of the key economy mechanics. We do have incentivizing time spent and kind of tasks done within the environment. So essentially what we're doing, they're incentivizing that social, which kind of puts us into the social-fi category a little bit. As I mentioned before, we're looking to empower the actual holders, not only from a content creation perspective, but also being able to rent their assets and potentially earn from those assets as well. And also we line up a few unique treasury mechanics because we have this protocol. I'll give you an example. For instance, we want to introduce a way that a percentage of commercial revenue is then governed by holders, i.e., for a DAO or for a particular strategy between our utility token utility holders and land NFT apartment holders. So we're still building on them. In terms of our roadmap, we're still really early on. Like I said to you before, we're pre-TG and we're pre-launch. We're going through fundraising at the moment, but we're also self-fundraisers from the land perspective and the apartment perspective. Going through those kind of top level statistics in terms of NFT and land, because we have been going since September. We've raised over $4 million on primary. We traded over $4 million on primary and secondary market, but we've also raised over $500,000 privately today as well, which we're expediting through kind of seed and private rounds. In terms of some of the other statistics, we've amassed over 30,000 community members so far, over 40 different community partnerships. We do a bit of charity work and a few other community partnerships that have come from charitable backgrounds. And in terms of a project development standpoint, we had around 35, 36 project development members working on the Ethereum world's ecosystem, not just the actual metaverse as well. So a lot's happening. In terms of the kind of backers and such, I can't really go into too much information on them, but we do have a growing advisory board and some incredible names as well on the advisory board. But what we're essentially trying to do is build up our entire team, process and systems to give us the best chance of success in what is quite a crowded market. But we hope we're essentially carving a path into the market for ourselves because of our, the elements of our project and an ecosystem that are quite unique. So yeah, I believe that's everything. And again, for anybody watching that doesn't know about Ethereum Towers, the best thing you can do is just hop onto our Twitter and check out our links out, or even just look. We're super active on there anyway. But we do bi-weekly and weekly updates on Medium posts. We've got an incredible Discord community, that really, I know everyone says that, but they genuinely are incredible individuals there. It all is one big family. So if you are interested in learning a bit more about Ethereum Towers, please check us out on Twitter. Finally, I didn't mention that the apartments are tokenized. We actually aren't all sold out. We have 4 more kind of batch rounds of selling them out, and the next phase of which we will sell an additional 400 or 420 apartments is coming in 10 days on Monday the 11th of April. So if you're listening and you're interested, definitely get involved in that, because there's some gamification elements and you can get involved this early, and hopefully it'll be one of the best decisions you've made. So yeah, I believe that's everything from my side. I've got no more slides.
Yeah, thank you very much, Brendan. Actually, I'm really looking forward to seeing the BGA office in a specific stage when you enter, and you can capitalize on expertise of the BGA members and promoting educations and what you say. So love the project and love the community behind. So thank you for being here, and thank you for the presentation.
Yeah, no, thank you very much.
So for the last but not least person to introduce what the company is doing, I will be pleased to welcome Tom from Fight of the Age. Tom, if you're ready, you can go.
Awesome, thank you. Let me go ahead and start sharing my screen. Sure. First off, thanks for having me upon these great panels and projects that I have presented. Actually have learned quite a bit so far, so it has been exciting. So thanks everyone. Let me go ahead and share the screen now. Let's go right here.
Okay, I see.
Perfect.
Let's go.
Awesome. So my name is Tom. I'm actually a board advisor for FOTA, and I am from DexForce Venture, one of the committee panel members. We are a incubation arm of the Dex Tool platform for traders, and happy to be here to kind of showcase the project, the FOTA project, from almost a person that's looking from the outside in, and why we like the project and what has drawn us into the project. So FOTA is a game, it's a mobile game with RPG aspect. It is a mass online battle arena game. The team is based in Vietnam, and the studio is based in Singapore. It's led by
I'm sorry, Tom, but you may want to do full screen of your tab if you want.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Yeah, perfect. You got it.
Sorry about that.
worries.
So it's led by Gray, the CEO of FOTA, and what drew us into the project is the dedication of the team, the extreme focus, and the team and the project they are building. The way the game has put a lot of focus on pushing the technology and the adoption for the GameFi space has really kind of impressed us. So we wanted to bring our knowledge and support the team through helping them go to market with different strategies. FOTA is focused on adoption, which will be launched in multiple platforms, mobile, also on desktop, as well as WebGL. We see this as a growing aspect of the game industry where adoption is a key point for any kind of GameFi projects, due to the fact that a lot of games are looking to integrate blockchain, and there has to be a reason why games want to go and integrate with the blockchain. It creates opportunity and adoption. Also, having ownership of the game is a key aspect for FOTA as well. Let me highlight a few things here. So FOTA is working with Microsoft and the Microsoft Lens, Halo Lens technology to push and grow adoption in the space. And one of the key things for that I like about the Halo Lens adoption is it attracts different levels of players. Some players like the mobile aspect, which attract a different audience. Some like the experience of having a unique, immersive experience. So the Microsoft MR mixed reality technology will kind of cater to all markets and all audience. Sorry, here we go. Let me get my notes up. Perfect. Here's a little bit of a glimpse of the gameplay with the in-game graphics. This is similar to Dota and Heart of Stone. Perfect. There you go. Let me go back to the website. So FOTA is a game that will be focused on different planetary areas where players can play in individual PvE games, PvP, and also in tournament style. The game is planning to launch this summer. Sorry, let me pause this here. This summer. And the TGA date will kind of line up with the game, which will help bring adoption and create instant experience for users and supporters of the community. Here are some of the characters within the game that the team has developed. Some of the art, I'm sorry about this. There we go. Let me pause this here. Some of the art has been created by artists from, can you guys hear me okay? I'm sorry, I have a...
Yeah, we just have this. Yeah, it's a video playing. You're good. It's so hard to manage when you are a lot of tabs, but you're good. You're good.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the team comprised of some artists from Riot Game Studios, as well as other renowned studios as well. And the NFT sale is going on and will be available fairly soon with the marketplace launching. Here you go. And I will kind of introduce a trailer that was recently released for the audience to see. Awesome.
Great.
So that was just a quick trailer of the recently released trailer. So going back to FOTA, FOTA has partnered up with some strong partners here. Sorry, 1 second.
We don't have your screen displayed, just for your info. If you want to display something, you may want to share again.
Apologize. Let me go ahead and reshare my screen. There we go.
Perfect. You got it.
Awesome. Thank you. So these are some of the partners that have FOTA has partnered up with to really support the project and its ongoing success. We have DexForce, Dex Tools as well. We got Hobbit, which has done an amazing job to bring brand awareness to the project. Currently, the social media channels and the numbers have been pretty impressive. 300,000 Twitter members, 46,000 YouTube subscribers, over 150,000 Telegram members. So marketing has been a strong point of the FOTA team. They have been working hard to really bring a game together that will attract many players. To be a DeFi game, you have to have some kind of DeFi mechanics, and as well as some a unique experience. So having a game that it's fun, but actually have the DeFi component as well as a unique experience is what the team has compiled together and is aimed to focus to deliver for the community. Greg, which is the CEO, is highly focusing on creating a game that is game first and DeFi second, which is I think is a strong point, because if anybody wanted to play any game, there's many options and avenues to play games, but to be a blockchain game and to integrate that where there is mass adoption, there has to be a formula and a recipe that kind of caters to this specific market. You know, if you want to create a metaverse or you want to create a AAA high visual game, why bring it to the blockchain? So I think with the team focusing on combining all those key ingredients into the game, it's truly exciting and important to create that adoption. And why would anybody want to do that? Is because the space is still nascent and it's still in self-discovery mode. So applying that, being extremely flexible and aware of the market, it really helps. I see the team really will help bring the game to a massive scale. Here are some of the advisors. Yun is actually from GEMS, which is focused on esports and esports hotel. There is a close partnership which will help bring the game and educate players and adoption to this space. On a final note, I think that's my presentation there. On a final note, where I'm super excited about FOTA and what they're bringing, the team is extremely dedicated into bringing something unique, pushing the Microsoft mixed reality technology to users and making it highly adaptable to all players around the world, from players who can only afford mobile devices to play the game to desktop players, as well as high-end players who want to experience the game in a truly unique fashion. And building a play-to-earn game or any kind of DeFi game requires different partnership and collaboration. So the team is open to kind of really brainstorm and work with any projects out there that feel like there can be some value alignment and bring more awareness to the space collectively together. And I think that would conclude my representation of FOTA. Appreciate everybody's patience with the technical side. Thanks again.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you very much, Tom. I'm excited for the game, and I want to play that bear in particular. Yeah, good game, and very happy to have you in the BGA. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. Thank you for being here today, introducing you and your activities. Pleasure again to have you in the BGA and to connect and to meet. And on that note, just for the audience, we'll have quite a journey in the following weeks, because we'll be in NFC in Lisbon So we'll have a panel in Lisbon to talk about some with some BGA members and myself to talk about metanomics, which will be the subjects of the panel. And obviously we'll have a BGA dinner just for our BGA members, and we will be also in Paris for the NFT day with a specific booth. So it's going to be great. We're going to have the opportunity to showcase some blockchain games to the public. So really excited about that. And yeah, thanks again. Wish you a very good weekend to all the speakers and to everyone. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thanks for having me. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.